Guy is an NPC in a game called Free City. His every move is pre-programmed. Every day he wears the same clothes, eats the same food, and goes to the same store to order the same cup of coffee. When going to the bank and seeing robbers coming to rob, he will immediately lie down on the floor. When the police arrive, he met the girl and fell in love with her right away. He has been struck by the love. He wants to start a conversation and gets to know that girl, but before he can catch up with her, he is unfortunately run over by a train. The system set up by Guy is revived, and just like that, a new day comes for him until some group goes to the bank to rob. Guy saw the girl he loved walking outside, so he stood up and walked toward the robber, but he had been beaten to the ground. But when he looked at the love of his life, he decided not to give up. He stood up to fight, trying to take off the rubber glasses. Unfortunately, the gun took the trigger off and killed the robber. He put on the bandit's glasses, and a completely different world appeared. He discovered a medical box floating next to him. He reached out and touched it. As a result, the body suddenly went back into alive mode. Guy miraculously awakened artificial intelligence. He is very curious about these new things. Immediately after a robber failed to bypass the firewall, the person fell on his face and dropped a pile of coins, with the money falling from the sky. He took it all to buy a new pair of shoes. But Guy's actions were discovered by the game management team. They suspected Guy of stealing the NPC's outfit, so the two entered the game to deal with Guy, who faced their overwhelming firepower. Guy could only run away. It was also at this time that he discovered shoes with a high-rise function. The two managers saw this and got angry, forcing them to use high mode to interfere with the games. At the end of the road, Guy could only jump as high as he could cling to the crane hook. Fortunately, he turned on the bubble mode to wrap himself and escape. Suddenly, a car came and crashed into him. When Keys and the person in pink thought everything was solved, they exited the game. But when Keys returned home, Millie was here. She wants to ask for Keys' help investigating the company he is working for. She suspected them of stealing the source code for the two of them and applying AI technology to the game. But Keys disagreed because he thought it was just a coincidence. Unable to ask for help, Millie went back and logged into the game on her own. At the same time, Guy has also been revived by the system. Millie then infiltrated the place, having the clues to prove that the company stole her source code right after Guy also came. That's why the two of them were discovered by the guards. In this dangerous situation, Millie decided to open the space gate to return and pursue it. Guy started on the path of leveling up his experience. He is pathetic in this chaotic city. When people go to vandalism to level up and defend justice, but because the level is too low, he can die. If someone shoots him this time, it's even worse. He was about to throw the grenade when it bounced back into the car. Time after time, after many failures, he finally tasted victory. Guy successfully dealt with a band, so he climbed to level 13. Then he put bombs in the barrel to destroy other people's tanks. Also, help the girl avoid being attacked by others. Then they used their intelligence to knock down the higher level players. Thanks for those, Guy became the hero of the city and was recognized by everyone. Soon his level climbed to level 102. Now, Millie is asking for Keys for help so that she can infiltrate the game's information storage. Keys agreed and used his admin permission to open the door for Millie. As soon as she got inside, she found the secret movie at the same time. The sirens sounded, and the guards rushed inside. They surrounded her and attacked her relentlessly. But right now, Guy appears. He easily defeated the gunman. Before the two could talk, several enemies suddenly appeared. Millie's fighting power is extremely strong, and soon many more enemies were killed, and Guy could only stand behind her and look. It was only when one of them charged and attacked that he noticed. Then take the motorcycle to the rescue. While Millie shoots at the enemies, they run out of sight, and like that, the two escape. However, the tape Millie stole was left there. At this time, Antoine arrived at the company headquarters, causing Ken to immediately return to his position. Here he learned that Eden doesn't want to upgrade to a new version of the game. He only wants to attract more players and then use his attraction to sell that game to someone. At that time, he had both money and the knowledge of having stolen Millie's source code. What he cares about is the profit, not the player's feelings. And now Guy has led Millie back to his base. Since then, she believes Guy is a good person. And right after that, When Keys came to the house to find Millie, he told her that Guy is an NPC with the AI algorithm built into him, which Keys had created and was stolen by Antoine to create this game. Now they only have 48 hours to find clues before this game is sold, because she didn't want her work to disappear. Millie decided to tell Guy the truth. He and the other glasses-free people in the city are NPCs. Guy only exists in this virtual world, not as a real person. Guy can't accept this. He found a way to the end of the game and tried to reach out his hand to confirm what Millie said was true. He learned the truth. Guy wasn't convened. On the contrary, he even helped Millie go to his friend for help. The two then went to the enemy's base and were about to use force and threaten. Who expected this man to be a big fan of Guy and deliver the reel successfully? Guy handed the reel to Millie. The reel appeared inside another world and came out. This land was created by Millie and stolen by Antoine. When this reel is released, it will denounce all of Antoine's crimes. But when Antoine learns that Millie has found the secret, he immediately orders his subordinates to reset the whole game. The players were all forced out when Guy went out into the street, and the whole world stopped. The scenes in the game gradually disappeared. When Guy regained consciousness, his memories were erased and returned to their original state. Guy decided to go to the bank, but he meant a robber. What's more strange is that the robber didn't take money but stole his first kiss. It was at that moment that the man's entire memory was awakened. Actually, in this system setting, Guy only loves Millie, and the two of them gathered all the NPCs in the game to go on strike and just help Guy find that land. Their lives will change. Then the players logged into the game and found that all the NPCs had disappeared. That's why the game can't work. Upon hearing this news, Antoine ordered his subordinates to solve the case of Guy and Millie. They turned on the management mode, and the buildings inside started collapsing wherever Guy and Millie tried to survive during this critical time. Keys sneaked into the admin login and opened the path, which helped save the two of them before they were crushed to death by buildings. Thanks for that. Now the two can easily reach the beach. On the water's surface, a stealth bridge appeared just to go through the boundary of the free city, and they will reach the land that Millie has created. But it was at this moment that Antoine ordered to clear all the game data and kick all players, Miller included. She also disappeared completely before Guy's eyes. Not only that, but Antoine also brought a copy of Guy to deal with Guy. He was beaten by it, and right at the dangerous moment, he picked up the player's glasses when the other guy was about to make the decisive blow. Guy promptly activated his defense, then punched him away and continued hitting the opponent with the laser sword, using all weapons to attack the opponent. But the other guy was too strong to handle. Guy was in a weak position, but he wasn't unafraid. He took off his glasses and put them in the opponent's eyes. Who expected that? After the guy put on glasses, a scene appeared. When it sees that it loves life, it runs, jumps, and forgets the task. Now, if Guy crosses the bridge, Antoine's plan will completely fall apart. But he didn't want that to happen, so he took a hammer to completely smash the server. The graphics in the game began to crunch. The NPCs were frantically running away from their fate of being annihilated. They ran up and entrusted all of their faith to Guy, who also didn't want everyone to be disappointed. So he ran forward. At the last moment, he jumped up and successfully reached the land that Millie had created. Antoine's crimes were exposed, and he was arrested.